Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to those here and also those connecting online. Let's settle into our evening with our meditation. The gift of meditation to ourself, the gift of meditation to our mind, body, and being, and the gift of the qualities that come from meditation as our sharing and way of being with others and the world. So having established our comfortable sitting position, aligning our body with some degree of symmetry, balance, poise, enabling some inner mindful presence. Our eyes gently closed, helping to bring awareness within. Breathing out any stress, tension that may have been collecting, building in our body over the happening of this day, the happening of the week so far. Breathing out, relaxing, releasing, letting go. Letting go of issues, worries, concerns, roles, and responsibilities. Giving our brain, mind a break from being caught up in thoughts about what has been, thoughts about what might be. Just relaxing and settling into the present moment. This place and point of existence, the present. Enabling a calm, objective, receptive, attentive knowing. Particularly as we come to our senses, coming to our senses both literally and metaphorically. So feeling into our body, this platform for experience, life experience through the body. Feeling grounded, settled, centered, present. And noticing some contact sensations, that sense of touch of our feet connecting with the floor, mindfully noticing that, feeling that. Then noticing and feeling the sense of touch with our body connecting with the chair, cushion, or meditation stool, whatever we're sitting on. Then noticing and feeling the touch of our hands resting in our lap. Maybe one hand resting in the other or touching the fabric of our clothes. Just noticing, sensing, feeling. And bringing awareness up to our face. Maybe feeling the touch of the air connecting with our face. Then from the sense of touch, moving awareness to notice the sense of sight and seeing as we perceive light coming in through the closed eyelids, some degree of lightness or a brightness, a color, a patterning, or just a blankness. Simply seeing. From the sense of sight and seeing, moving awareness to the sense of sounds and hearing. Noticing some background sounds, maybe some sounds from in the room. Maybe some sounds from outside beyond the room. not thinking about the sound, but simply hearing, listening for the different tone, pitch, volume, layers, levels of sound, the soundscape of life just here, just now. And noticing the last two physical senses, sense of smell and taste. Any aroma, fragrance, scent in the room. Any residue, taste, flavors in the mouth, just noticing. And also noticing any mental sense occurring, the sense of thoughts occurring in the mind, the mental sense, thoughts as a mental image, thoughts as a mental sound or voice. All thoughts are just mental sight, mental sound that can be noticed, known, without the need to engaging with thought into thinking. As we develop this faculty of knowing, mindful knowing, receptive, attentive, objective, calm, conscious knowing. A knowing of the flowing fabric of experience in the present, pure and simple, just as it is. And particularly taking up as our primary reference point for present moment awareness, the sensation of the breath, the touch of the breath at the nose, nostril area, feeling that inflow sensation, feeling the outflow sensation, directing attention, receiving each life-giving breath, and then relinquishing, releasing, giving that back into the space around us. Feeling, knowing each breath, the gift of life through each breath. Simply sitting, being, breathing, knowing. Please help yourself to some tea biscuits if you wish. So how are we feeling this evening?
Um,
What was that, Tim?
calm.
Calm. That's good. Calm. Pleasant evening after a pleasant day, winter's day. A winter's day on our Vasa retreat period. It's a 3-month period of using our time, energy in a more conscious, mindful way, living mindfully, being mindful, which in itself becomes a great gift to others, the gift of being mindful. Last week, we looked into just a bit of an overview of the theme for our Vasa retreat period, the 10 ways to well-being. 10 ways of generating wholesome thoughts, mental states, emotions, behaviors, associations, connections that generate good karma, wholesome karma, merit, well-being, both in the activity and also the results of those activities or actions or ways of being. This evening, to reflect upon the first of the 10 ways of well-being, which is the quality of dāna. Maybe you've read the notes, had looked at them to some degree, but as a bit of a reminder, we could say that life very much is relationship. The relationship that fundamentally the mind has to our conscious experience through our 5 physical senses and the mental sense of any thoughts. So, for example, if there ceases to be sight, no seeing, no hearing, no smelling, no tasting, no touching, feeling, and no thinking, then we probably wouldn't certainly appreciate the moment or appreciate life. Wonder if we're still alive, which is a thought. But basically, the whole of our life is through those 6 senses. Then the quality of our life is based upon the quality of our relationship to the senses and the experience thereof. Obviously, to have as much of a mindful, conscious, clear-minded approach to whatever we're experiencing. And in the experience of being alive, what gives great worth, well-being, joy, where most people would say, yes, that what gives them joy and meaning and worth in life is relationship itself. So beyond, yes, the fundamental relationship to experience, seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, feeling, thinking, the connection to others, relationship with others, other beings, usually other human beings, but can also include animal, pet beings. And so that that relationship could be an intimate relationship, a familial relationship, friendship relationship, collegial, professional relationship. But it's what enhances our experience of being alive and gives a sense of worth to ourself. Very much the sense of self is a relational self. We know ourself through relating to things and others. It's how we get a sense of ourself through the various roles that we have. So it's the quality of the connection, the quality of the relationship, which is more than just being mindful. It also includes being heartful. So heart, emotion, feeling, care, connection. And in a way, we could say that the 10 ways to well-being, they're very much about relating to and connecting to others. They're very much about giving, caring, sharing with others through these 10 particular activities. And that they create a sense of ease and joy and well-being and self-worth and happiness. So it's interesting to note that with all the 10 ways to well-being, they're about giving and caring and sharing. So that it's no wonder then that the Buddha, in his wisdom, realizing that the great worth in being a human being is through connecting to others in a mindful, conscious, caring way. When we don't, then that's when it causes us upset, distress. We feel isolated, disconnected, caught up in self. So well-being comes from connecting well with others. And And one of the ways in which we can connect well with others is through giving. Hence the first of these 10 ways to well-being, giving. Dāna, translated as giving or generosity, liberality. Giving to others, but giving in a way with care. It's more than just, here, have this. I don't want it. You have it. You take it. But more giving with care, giving what is right, wholesome, healthy, appropriate, timely, etc. So right giving, wise giving. And this includes not just giving of objects, giving of financial support, but particularly giving of qualities, giving of kindness, giving of um, wise counsel, giving of time, giving of energy, giving things that are more psychological, or we could even say psycho-spiritual in nature, giving of one's presence to others. Because it may be easy to give an object. It's maybe even a bit more challenging to give a quality of the mind heart, giving patience, giving forgiveness, the gift of forgiveness. I was thinking about it today and talking with someone about the importance of equanimity, calm composure, and the gift of equanimity to others. The gift of being able to maintain that calm composure, that sense of easefulness, presence, a sense of not reacting and getting caught up in self, that calm composure, equanimity, the balance of compassion, caring together with wisdom as a way of being with others. So that is an amazing gift, giving someone that gift of calm presence, which can then be maybe expressed as listening, and certainly the other person maybe can feel that calmness, that groundedness. We may be the only person in that person's life that is calm and grounded with them, modeling a way of being that they might be able to then be with their issue or be with their pain or be with themselves in that calm, grounded, composed way. So they're not getting caught up in, clinging or condemning, reacting or resisting, denying or distracting from what is there, but a sense of accommodating with calm composure. So being able to model that and express that and share that with another person is special, very special. As is the all of the four spiritual emotions, the Brahma Vihara on the chart here. So the gift of metta, the gift of kindness and friendliness, even as a way of just exuding that kindness, that care, that friendliness to others, not just people that we know, people that we care about generally, but to just other human beings around. The gift of karuna, compassion, so feeling for others in their unease, in their stress, in their pain. So the gift of compassion. The gift of mudita, sense of expressing joy and happiness for others in their joy and happiness. I'm so happy for you. It's wonderful that's happened for you. I'm so happy for you, as opposed to being caught up in resentment or jealousy, envy. The gift of mudita. It's challenging to find a good translation for the word mudita. It's often translated as sympathetic joy or joy with and for others. But strangely, we don't have in English one good word that translates as mudita. Maybe in other languages there is, I'm not sure. Joy with and for others, which is a great gift, because sometimes people feel guilty. It's like, oh, I didn't want to tell you because I knew you wanted that as well, and I got it, and I got the job and you didn't, and or you've been wanting to get one of those for so long, and I came across one and I got it, and no, I'm happy for you. That's wonderful. Great, good for you. You deserve it. So happy for you. And then obviously the gift of upekkha, equanimity. Wonderful. Equanimity is seen certainly as the result of and are the highest of the four spiritual emotions. It also appears in many of the lists in Buddhism, including the 10 spiritual virtues and the enlightenment factors and factors of deep meditation, jhana. So equanimity is very, very wonderful. And so it's like to be able to share that with others is special, because I think it's lacking in the world, that calm composure. People often get caught up and overreact, get overwhelmed and distressed, and easily sort of buy into reaction. But to be able to share and offer that presence of calm composure as a great gift. Space, the gift of space, the gift of ease, the gift of listening, the gift of even silence, the gift of stillness. Can I be still in this situation, still with you? So these are psychological, psycho-spiritual gifts that we can share with others that create a certain dynamic. So through being generous, we create a certain relationship with others that nourishes others, certainly, but also nourishes our own being, which is why it certainly creates a sense of well-being, the well-being that's created through the gift of these qualities, being able to give and be generous, and also to feel good about it. The Buddha said it's so important for people to give in a kind, caring way, but also to rejoice, to feel good about what one's done. So that lightens and brightens the mind as well, particularly leading into meditation. So to feel good about what one has done in the day, particularly in terms of giving to others in a particular way. Even the gift of not doing, the gift of not doing anything that's unwholesome, unskillful, unhelpful, unsupportive, which could be the gift of not saying something, not disturbing, not distressing, not upsetting, not challenging. That can be a gift as well. So it's really good and helpful to think, okay, so this virtue of generosity, of giving, as a way to well-being, how do I engage that in my daily life? Where am I able to be giving? Am I giving of things? Am I giving of advice, counsel? Am I giving of my presence? Am I giving space? How do I usually engage this quality of giving, being generous? And what's a result of that? And could I give more? Could I be more helpful, or more sort of generous, or more supportive, or give more space, or etc. Because these are qualities to develop and to exercise and strengthen further, using wisdom as well, so that we don't give too much, because sometimes giving too much can then become a problem. Giving too much advice, giving too much patience, so that the person then ends up taking advantage of one. So using wisdom as well to know what's appropriate. So wise giving, not too much, not too little, just the right amount. Otherwise, it can lead to burnout. I say to people that work in the health and helping professions, first give in before you give out. Otherwise, you're going to burn out, end up being empty. But the Buddha said some wonderful words about giving. One that begins the notes that I've shared with you. The gift of truth excels all gifts. The flavor of reality surpasses all flavors. The delight of truth transcends all delights. Freedom from craving is the end of all suffering. So particularly that first line, the gift of truth excels all gifts. So the gift of dāna, wisdom, insight, of the gift of sharing with others things that will help to lead them to be free of suffering. Certainly the Buddha exemplified that in teaching 45 years, the way to enlightenment, because he had that choice once he'd realized that his mind was completely freed from being caught up in greed, clinging, craving, aversion, anger, from delusion, confusion, ignorance. He could have thought, oh, great, my mind's free, suffering is ended, I'm going home now. I'll retire and have just a peaceful, pleasant life, a silent Buddha. But he chose to go forth and teach and to share and to help others become free as well. So the great gift of truth. And certainly for us, that's a possibility as well. The whatever little insights, understandings, big insights, understandings that we've had, to be able to share them with others. So the gift of truth excels all other gifts because it frees the mind from distress, from suffering. The Buddha also said, there are 5 rewards of generosity. One is dear and appealing to people at large. One is admired by good people. One's name is spread about. One does not stray from the rightful duties of the householder. And with the breakup of the body at death, one reappears in a good destination, even in the heavenly worlds. He also said, if beings knew as I know the results of giving and sharing, they would not eat a single meal without having given, nor would the stain of miserliness overcome their minds. Even if it were their last bite, their last mouthful, they would not eat without having shared, if there were someone to receive their gift. But because people do not know, as I know, the results of giving and sharing, they eat without having given. The stain of miserliness overcomes their mind. And also, Buddha said, what the miser fears that keeps him from giving is the very danger that comes when he does not give. So in the notes that I've shared with you, there's lots of lovely quotes about the benefits and the importance of in giving. And certainly it's a great sense of the joy that we can have ourselves when we know that, okay, today I was able to give of my time or to give of my presence, even sharing of merit, which is one of the 10 ways to well-being. I dedicated the merit of my wholesome activities to others. So a sense of joy in that, knowing that one has been living in a wholesome, healthy way, practicing meditation. So the sense of joy that comes from that. And given that we don't live in isolation, how we are does affect others. So if we can feel happy and good and at ease with ourselves, that flows on to other people that we live with, love with, care with, share with. They're affected in a positive way by our well-being. And that becomes a gift in itself as well. So for your own reflections, any thoughts or considerations about this particular virtue? It's also one of the 10 paramitas, giving. It's an activity. How have you been engaging this over the while? Being generous, giving, caring?
One of the things that I have to be very careful of is having an expectation from someone having given, and giving absolutely freely without expectation is really important for me, because I quite what's the word for it? I could bitter, I suppose, or if I'm not appreciated.
Yeah. So it's good to be mindful of that.
Yeah.
Because we all have that tendency to some degree. Yes, we can give and be generous, but there can be sort of degrees or sort of a slight hint of expecting something back, even if it's just a thank you.
Yes.
Or a smile, or even just maybe even just a text. Thank you for dropping that off. Thank you. So and when we don't get that, it's like, sort of. So that's even if it's like a bit of a sadness. I thought they might have.
Yes.
Why couldn't they? Or but then, expectation. There's going to be some suffering there. So even the gift of letting go of expectation, that's a gift in itself. Which is what the Buddha calls kingly giving, which is giving totally freely, no expectation of anything in return. If something comes back, fine. If not, fine. All good. All good. But what we can also find that if we are providing an example of giving and expressing a sense of generosity, which is expressing care, then if it's done rightly, then and to the right person as well, generally people will respond, that sense of reciprocity, sooner or later, because we're modeling to them a way of being. But again, we have to be careful that we're expecting them to sort of come back with something. And if we are, then that's not so much giving. It's sort of just the marketplace economy.
Yeah.
I give you this, and you give this. You give me something back.
One, I guess, form of giving that I find very joyful is in a conversation, if I'm able to be present and understand and just, I don't know, hold it, the conversation, not like anything, and offer an insight at the right time or an understanding of something, and then kind of witnessing if the other person starts to, you can kind of see the kind of light bulb moments or shift in understanding and things, and I don't know, it's just a very joyous experience. When it can happen.
So the dynamic that is created in that, a type of dynamic of caring, connecting, sharing, holding space, and particularly if people they feel more enlivened and brightened in that space, then they're also going to share as well, share information or share their story or share sort of an experience, and that's wonderful to be able to help to facilitate that for people, even if it's just with a child or with a friend or partner. Any other thoughts or considerations?
And me, I think, to be charged again, nature does that for me too. Nature seems to give without expectation to me.
Yeah. Well, even Tim appreciating nature is a gift to nature.
Yeah.
because sadly, nature is, when nature isn't appreciated, that's when it's more likely to be destroyed. But the more we connect into nature, the natural environment, and appreciate it and share that with others, like you just did now, then that helps others to go, yes, isn't it lovely to get into nature and just nature is sharing with me, sharing her presence, so to speak, sharing the sound of nature, the smell of nature, the feel of nature, the vibe of nature. So it's like it's a gift, and by appreciating it, then and letting other people know about it, then we're in some way helping to protect
Yeah.
nature.
Yeah.
Mm.
So what I identified with that exercise was the generosity, this giving of self, of appreciating, not too far into reflecting on that, I realized that I was not giving myself
Mm.
generosity,
Mm.
which kind of was a bit of a surprise.
Mm.
Yeah.
And that's where it's good to certainly recognize that, but look after oneself. Because if one is the vehicle for giving and one's not looking after oneself, then we're less likely to be able to give if we're sort of not looking after the one that is giving.
Mm.
Again, that you can get sort of worn out, run down. And that can occur in various ways, as giving oneself time and giving oneself space and meditation, and all the things that nourish our well-being, so that we're in a better position to then be able to be giving to others. Like the time that we take to practice meditation is a gift to others. People might think, oh, meditation is very selfish. You're just sitting down and just being with yourself and closing your eyes and navel gazing. But what are you doing for others when you're doing that? Well, being a human being, providing an example. You're not disturbing others when you're doing that. It's also developing a calm, clear mind that you can then interface and connect with others with, creating sort of uh, insightful understanding, wisdom, and compassion that you can then share with. Really, really important. So over the week, see how you can um, certainly reflect upon how you give, what you do give, the results of that for others and certainly for yourself, and also have a sense of reflecting and having a sense of joy at giving, even just giving one's presence, one's calm or one's easeful presence to others, even if it's just to one other person. And that person then feels more at ease and they then connect with others. You might only connect with one person, but that person maybe connects with 100 people, and those 100 people connect with 10 people each. So suddenly the energy is flowing on. Special. Next week, we'll look into the second of the ways to well-being, which is sila, morality, or wholesome conduct, virtue, which again is also a gift to others through our way of being. Very significant. So let's end up for tonight, and thanks for coming out. See you next time.